Page 9, what child is this? So I'll go through the process I used to learn a piece of music. Let's see what we end up with. First, I'll look it over and see about how long it is. I see it's about 3 pages long. The clef signs, I always check the clef signs. They're treble and bass. They'll be treble and bass most of the time, but not always, so I just have the habit of checking them. The time signature is now 3/4 time. Now we're coming in on an upbeat or pickup beat, so we're coming in on beat 3. I see dotted rhythms in places, and I see some sharp signs, so we're going to have some fun with those, I'm sure. It seems like the hands are only playing one at a time, so to shorten the video, I'm going to talk about both hands together here. The left hand starts with second finger on A, that puts the hand here. And the right hand is thumb on middle C, so we're in this position. So it's 3-1. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, and 2. And I trust you understand dotted rhythms. I mean, I teach that stuff in the method book, not here. Here, I assume you know it. Just briefly, the quarter note comes on beat 1. The quarter note takes up a whole beat. Nothing else can happen until that beat is over. The dot comes on beat 2, because the dot can't come on beat 1. The quarter note's got it. The dot comes on beat 2, and the dot is half the quarter note, or it's the same as an eighth note. So it's like there's an eighth note on beat 2 that's tied to the quarter note. So the eighth note that's printed is on the end of 2. 1 and 2 and. So it's 1 and 2 and. The quarter note, dot, and. 1 and 2. That's the rhythm. That's about as simple as it gets. Or don't make them complicated. They're not. It's fairly simple. Just don't do long short, because that's very dangerous. Make sure your rhythm is accurate here. So again, on that measure, it's 1 and 2. 1, 2. 1 and 2 and 1, 2. Now we have a sharp. So I'm going to third finger. They don't really need the 3. What you're going to do is the same finger on the white key as the black in most cases. So you just come up. Again, third finger. That's all. The hand position is here. It's not here. The black key is not part of the hand position. You're just moving the finger up when you need it. And you want to get eventually to the point where you can do that without even looking at the keyboard. You know where that black key is. You can feel it. Let's go over to page 10. Measure 13. Remember, the numbers at the beginning of the lines and the little boxes above the staff are measure numbers. The measure 13, it's 1 and 2 and 3, and then G sharp and 2. G and F sharp both. 2, 3. Yeah, and again, you don't need those finger numbers. You're going to use those fingers anyway. Now when we get to measure 17, here's the hands are playing together. So let's talk about this a little bit. The right hand, you're up here, and the left hand has an E and a B. All together. Just lower both hands down. And then in the next measure, it's the same notes except the B comes up to an A. You just move the thumb up. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2. And then for the next measure, it is a G and a B. The thumb comes down again and here. So the left hand is that. Make sure you can do that okay. And again, it'd be nice to do this without looking at the keyboard eventually, where you can move the thumb up and down one key, and you know what that feels like. You'll have to look eventually. Again, measure 17. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1 and 2. Get the idea? Now let's go to the end. The last 2 measures on page 11. You're here, and while you hold that down, you do these. And then last measure, you have an A, a C, and an E together. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Or 1, 2. Actually, it's 1, 2, excuse me. Beat 3 is at the beginning. It was the pickup beat. That's the, okay. I don't know where the beginning is. I think we're backwards. I can't tell. Just go to the beginning, whatever. Okay. Now, once I have an idea of the notes and the rhythm and the fingering, then I go back over it slowly and carefully, and I work out the hesitations. And it would be nice to be able to play this without looking at the keyboard eventually. Well, then I add the articulation. Articulation, remember, is how we express the notes. We express them. We don't just play them. No, 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 no. Here they've got the phrasing marked in. We're going to connect these. See this big long curved line? We're going to connect that all the way through. All the way to there, and then lift up. Like taking a breath. Because all of that was one musical sentence. So it's one musical thought. We more or less connected it. You don't have to connect all the notes in a phrase, but the idea is at the end of the phrase, before you go to the next phrase, lift up. Yeah, so the last measure on page 9 here, lift up. Don't connect them. No. When I first learn a piece, I connect everything. But once I have the notes under control and the rhythms, then I add in this articulation stuff. So you add in the phrasing throughout. Just lift up at the end of a phrase. It's easier sometimes when they give you like a rest. You have to lift up. Look, for instance, on measure 16. You have a 1, 2, rest. It's the end of a phrase. Well, we have to lift up for the rest anyway, so it's built in. That's how it works. So once I have an idea of the articulation, then I'll think about the dynamics, or the louds and softs. At the beginning, it's MP. It's mezzo piano, sort of soft. It's on the soft side of the middle, whatever. I don't know. You decide what sort of soft is. Then when you get over to measure 17, now you're forte, you're loud. Here. Technically speaking, the dynamic given is for the melody. So you have to figure out where the melody is. Where's the melody? It's in the right hand. And then it goes to the left hand. So that's loud. This other stuff, measure 17 and 18, this stuff, that really needs to be light in the background. We want to hear the melody. And so you're playing one hand heavy and one hand light at the same time. It takes time, but you'll get it. Work on it. 2, 3. Now, see there when the left hand gets the melody, now it's got to be loud. And you're loud until the last 3 measures or so. You see that long hairpin? It means to gradually get softer. So we're going to, they don't say how soft. Let's go down to soft if you want. So you're loud on measure 30. You're loud. Come here and then soft. The melody's in the left hand. Here. Soft. This in the right hand at the end. That's not melody. That needs to be in the background. It should be clear to the listener where the melody is. So it should be clear. So it should be clear to them that that's melody, not that. Yeah. So this is very light, and this is a little less light. Yeah. That takes control and that takes practice. Just keep at it. It comes eventually if you keep at it. If you say, I can't do this yet, then you're just delaying it. You as well work on it now while the music isn't too hard, because when the music gets a lot harder and then you got to work on it, yeah, it's better if you can already be able to do it when the music gets harder, in my opinion. So I ask you to do it now. Then finally the speed. Flowing, whatever that is, just it's a nice gentle flow of a piece. Remember the natural accents? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Feel these. So at the beginning, it sounds like to hear. Because the listener, when they're just listening to it, they'll think the first note you played is the first beat of a measure. And it needs to be clear to hear. copy me, please. If I played it again, I would play it different. I'd probably play at a different speed. You can do more with the dynamics and what they're doing. If you feel getting a little louder and softer, do it. There is an RIT at the last two measures, a retardando. You slow down. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You just slow down. And we have this page turn we have to deal with. If you're playing by yourself, there's nobody to turn the page for you. If you can't memorize the first page at least, you have to be able to turn this page. You have to do it without messing up the rhythm. The rhythm stays steady. Well, fortunately here, the right hand isn't doing anything. So you can, while you're playing this left hand, the last two measures, you can reach up and turn the page right quick, somewhere in there. You just have to memorize a measure or two, that's all. And turn the page. So the beat is a steady beat all the way through. Let's play this together slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. Now, I'm not going to do the louds and softs. We're not performing it. I'm just doing notes and rhythms. I can't do the page turn. So we're going to do page 9, and then we're going to stop. Then I'm going to turn the page, and then I'll give us another 3 counts, 1, ready, go, and then we'll do the rest of it. So at the beginning, I give us 2 counts because we come in on beat 3. I just go ready, go. That's 2, and then we go slowly. Just, are you playing the same note I'm playing when I play it? Ready, go. 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2. 1 and 2. 1, 2. 1 and 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Stop and turn the page. 1, ready, go. 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3. 1, 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Rest. 2, 3. 2, 2, and 2, 1, 2, and 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, rest, 2, 3, 2, 2. 2, 1 and 2, and 2. 1, 2. There's a duet for this at the bottom of the page. I'd like to play that. So I'm going to give us 2 counts. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. And again, I need you to go up the keyboard here. So just pretend the middle C instead of here is up here. So instead of here, you're up here. Play it all up here. Now here, I'm not going to stop for the page turn. I'm going to play it straight on through. So it's up to you to get that page turned without messing up the beat. So I'll give us 2 counts. Did I say that already? I can't remember. Now the accompaniment doesn't have a beat on the pickup. You do. So I'm going to play that note down here with you, and then I'll do the accompaniment after that. Ready, go.